guys, this is week 2 of Upstate Flag League's Highlight Show, where I'm going to be showing you all of the highlights from this week's matchups. We had Polk High go up against the Punishers and Onslaught Nation versus the CTS Spartans. I'm also going to talk to the offensive lineman of the week from Wolf Hollow Brewing Company and Albany Distilling Company's Player of the Week. So keep watching for all of that, as well as a prediction for week 3's matchups. And first up, these are all the highlights from week 2. Your game was not as high scoring as the first game of the season. What did you think happened with your offense this game compared to the first one?
I'd say missing a few key linemen would definitely play a big factor in it. A lot of forced throws, a couple of sacks I couldn't really do anything about. Try to get rid of the ball quicker, but they had some new defensive linemen that I didn't see there last week. Definitely showed up, made me get rid of the ball a lot quicker. So not really what I expected, but we stayed under control and got the win.
You were a waiver wire pickup this week, so you got picked up, and what do you think you bring to this team?
Elusiveness. A couple guys said I'm not elusive. I bring a lot more speed to the team. And hard work. A lot of these dudes don't work hard. They just come out here and just try to ball out.
What can we expect from Polk High next week?
Oh, another win. Big another win. Onslaught. Show up. Show up,
clock,
CJ.
Charles.
Big time on the clock.
On the clock.
You guys had waiver wire pickups this week, so big week for adding on guys. What kind of guys did you get on your team that you think will help improve you for the future?
Well, what we did was we added a quarterback. So basically, I would move to wide receiver now because I'm more of a weapon at wide receiver. So honestly, if we get more guys here, we're losing games by a touchdown or two with 8 guys. You know what I mean? So we have no rotation. We get guys to show up, we're a problem.
And what can we expect to see from you next week? What do you think your team's going to bring?
Next week we're definitely getting a W, and I'm going beast mode next weekend, and I'm taking no prisoners next week. It's a wrap. We're not going 0-3. I promise you that.
We've got to hear about that controversial pass interference call. What do you think happened there?
Oh, my jersey got grabbed from behind pretty bad. The camera didn't pick it up, but it was definitely pass interference.
Ricky, how would you describe your game today individually and for your whole team here?
I personally don't think I did that great. I mean, I picked it up later. I started off and I let up a touchdown, but then afterwards we all played pretty well and picked up, and everyone picked me up, so we played well afterwards.
And it was a big week with waiver wire pickups. What kind of guys did you add to your team, and what do you think they're going to bring this season?
Will Turner was huge today. He had many sacks, filled in wherever we needed, so hopefully they can add some depth, definitely depth, and hopefully some more athletes too.
And now for our Wolf Hollow Brewing Company's Offensive Lineman of the Week. And this week it was given to Bill Rios of the CTS Spartans. And I talked to him a little bit about why he thought he was selected. And he said it was largely in part to the fact that he was able to hold off Will Turner from Onslaught Nation to only a couple of pressures. Will Turner is one of the best pass rushers and linebackers in the league. And he said it was really beneficial to his team being able to hold Turner to that extent. And I also asked him what it was like to be named Offensive Lineman of the Week. Even though his team didn't win, the CTS Spartans did lose in Week 2 to Onslaught Nation. And so he said, being the first person to win the award on the losing team felt good and kind of sucked at the same time. I was going back and forth with Jacob Hobbs, who is also in the running for the award, about who would win this one this week. And I know that I did win this award, but I lost the game. So in reality, it doesn't sit well with me. I know what I can do, and I know what my team can do if we're all there, and I'm looking forward to picking up a W this week. And so that was from Bill Rios, who is the winner of this week's Wolf Hollow Brewing Company's Offensive Lineman of the Week. And now for our Albany Distilling Company's Player of the Week. It was a close race for this one, but it was ultimately given to Onslaught Nation's quarterback, CJ Tarver. And CJ, how would you describe your game this past week? What do you think went well to give you the win here?
We started a little slow, trying to get familiar with the receivers, the speed, and everything. So we started real slow. We started getting going. I'd say about at halftime we talked about it. And started to get familiar speeds with everybody. So we got on the same page, and I think we're all right for the next couple weeks.
So like I said, it was a tough race. A couple other guys there in competition with you, and they had some great games as well. But what do you think was the key thing that really made your game stand out here?
I think the 4 touchdowns gave me the edge over Rosie. He had 2 big ones, but I had 2 more than him. I had 200 yards, so I think I gave me the edge.
And so this was your first game for Upstate Flag League. You missed week 1. And so how cool is it to be named Player of the Week your first week out here?
Oh, I love that. We gotta make a statement, so it was good. First game, come out and do good.
Okay, thanks, CJ. That was CJ Tarver, quarterback for Onslaught Nation. And this week's Player of the Week, and we have these awards every single week where you can win some cool prizes. And we also have end of the season awards, like $500 we are giving to our MVP of the season from GotFear.com. Capital District Lawn Care is giving $350 to the Offensive Lineman of the Week, and Nature's Own is giving $400 to the Coach of the Year. So make sure you guys are always playing your best, and you may get one of those prizes at the end of the season. And so for week 3, we have some of the best matchups we've seen so far this season. It's the 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head, Polk High versus Onslaught Nation, and the 2 teams that have yet to get a win this season, the CTS Spartans against the Punishers. And so for the first game of week 3, I'm going to give it to the CTS Spartans. I think they're going to get their first win of the season here. If you just look at their roster, it's full of guys on paper that make a really great team. They've got some key players, and if you compare them to week 1, they were a lot better with those offensive linemen in the game that were not here for week 1, and I think it'll be the same thing this week with their guys there and at their set position. I think they'll be ready to go up against the Punishers. And for our final game of the week, I'm giving it to Onslaught. I think they're going to be the only team here that comes out undefeated for the whole league. And if you look at their game last week, CJ Tarver didn't have his best game, but he still managed to get 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. You look at those 4 touchdowns, they were to 4 different receivers. So he has a great core group of guys, a variety of targets to get the ball to, and I think it'll give them the edge against Polk High. And so that is it, guys, for this week's highlight show. Make sure you keep checking back every week for more highlights. And as always, we'll have all of our scores updated online and on our Facebook page, so check for that this weekend.